In a shocking and emotionally charged twist, Lil Meech, seemingly out of nowhere, pulled up on his own father, Big Meech, with goons in tow, ready to confront what many are calling a deep-rooted clash fueled not by hate, but by something more personal, jealousy. And what's even wilder, it all stems from Big Meech's unexpected alliance with 50 Cent after allegedly swearing loyalty to Rick Ross, throwing the entire BMF narrative into pure chaos. The streets are buzzing, the culture is shook, and the legacy of one of the most iconic families in hip-hop history is being dragged into the rawest kind of drama, father versus son. But let's not get it twisted. This isn't your average rap beef or Hollywood scandal. This is blood, this is business, and this is betrayal, or at least that's how it looks from Lil Meech's perspective. It all started with what looked like a power play. Big Meech, fresh out the feds and back in the world, made headlines by siding with Rick Ross. Ross, who'd been cooking up a flashy BMF film to rival 50 Cent's hit Star series, welcomed Meech with open arms. The pair made appearances, posted flicks, and it looked like Ross had pulled off the unthinkable, winning Big Meech away from the man who carried the BMF torch while he was locked up, 50 Cent. For Lil Meech, this should have been a moment of clarity. He was, after all, the face of 50's BMF show, handpicked and groomed to carry the legacy. He was Meech Jr., representing the name with authenticity, power, and Hollywood finesse. And 50? He was more than just a producer. He was a mentor, a partner, a kingmaker. But when his own father started aligning with Ross, the same man who'd been mocking and beefing with 50 for years, things got weird, uncomfortable, maybe even personal. Behind the scenes, rumblings began. Lil Meech was quiet, but his energy started shifting. Less smiles, fewer posts, and more silence. Close insiders started whispering. He doesn't like what's happening. He's feeling disrespected, maybe even replaced. Because think about it. How would you feel if your father, the man whose story you've been representing on national television, suddenly turned around and chose to rock with your rival's rival? It hit Lil Meech deep, but instead of going online, instead of tweeting, instead of calling TMZ, he took it back to how the BMF used to do things in person. That's right, no warning, no call. Lil Meech pulled up on Big Meech, in real life, with backup, ready for answers, ready for war. According to sources close to both sides, it wasn't just a heated conversation. It was a confrontation. Lil Meech didn't roll solo. He came with a small group, loyal soldiers who'd been riding with him through his rise. They didn't pull straps. They didn't throw fists. But the tension? It was thick. It wasn't just, let's talk. It was, you got some explaining to do. The core of it all? Big Meech's sudden pivot back to 50 Cent. Despite publicly rocking with Rick Ross, despite publicly dissing 50, something changed. Word is, 50 offered Meech something deeper than money or fame, honor, a full seat at the table, final say on the future of BMF cinematic legacy, and more importantly, redemption. And just like that, Big Meech flipped the switch. He turned his back on Ross's film project and partnered back with the man who'd been loyal since day one, 50 Cent. Now, imagine being Lil Meech. You've been standing tall for BMF. You've taken on the world under your father's name. You trusted him to back your play. And just when you thought you knew the script, he changes it, sides with your mentor, flips the chessboard. All while you're still out here fighting for brand that represents your blood. Insiders say Lil Meech felt blindsided, not just by the move, but by the lack of communication. No heads up, no convo, just a headline. Big Meech and 50 Cent reunite to produce new BMF project. That's when the jealousy started creeping in, not out of hatred, but out of pain, out of a deep need to prove he was the one holding it down, that he was the future of the legacy, not Ross, not even his pops, him. So when he showed up, it wasn't just to yell, it was to be seen, to say, don't forget who's been carrying your name while you were gone. And from what we hear, that message was received, loud and clear. The confrontation reportedly lasted close to an hour. No violence, but emotions were high, voices raised, tears even shed. Big Meech stood tall, defended his choice, told his son that this wasn't about ego. It was about legacy. He admitted Ross had fumbled, maybe even lied, that 50 Cent had never wavered, that the only way BMF's story gets told right is if father and son are on the same page, not opposite teams. Lil Meech, though hurt, is said to have taken it in, slowly, maybe still processing. But the bigger picture is